Hi, welcome to the channel. Quick question. Have you noticed that some people are very concerned about Leeds United's backline? And to be fair, that makes some sense. We did concede 3 against Portsmouth, even though it was from not very good chances. But thankfully, the Whites are looking to act in response to that, as the Whites are sort of looking at a left-back swoop. As we speak, there are plenty of targets right now. So, we're going to look at 3 targets in this video, the rumours surrounding them right now, what's linking us to them, and how good they would be at Leeds United. So we'll talk through who each individual player is, what exactly those deals could be looking like if we're choosing to sign them, if they fit the squad properly, or if it would be a sort of bodge job, and ultimately who is right to pick for Leeds United. So I'm not going to waste any more time, so let's get right into it with player 1. And player 1 is someone that you might have heard of because we've been linked with him a little bit in the past few days. It is Bashir Humphreys. Now, Bashir Humphreys spent a lot of last season on loan at Swansea, got a good few minutes. He's currently at Chelsea and is aged 21. So, not super young, but still fairly young, room to develop. But being at Chelsea, that makes it quite hard to get all that development in because you're not going to get any game time. Nominally, he is a centre-back, but he plays exclusively on the left-hand side. This isn't just as a left centre-back. He can play at left-back as well. He has played that role, but when he has, he's not really acted as a wing-back. It's sort of been like left-hand side, but we'll get to the halfway line and then maybe push a touch further, but not too much. Effectively, from his heat map, it looks like he's played on the left-hand side of a back three rather than in that full-on wing-back role. So not quite Firpo-y, so it depends on what you're looking for in a left-back. On the deal, Chelsea would prefer to make a permanent signing, or at least to have him leave on a permanent deal. And on the Leeds end, we could maybe look to do it as a loan with an option to buy, but then again, I'm not sure Chelsea would back that. And I feel like the fee is quite high on this one. I've seen reports that are as high as £10 million, some other people saying 5. I feel like those are some wild numbers for Humphreys because whilst he did okay at Swansea last season, he didn't exactly blow the league out of the water. A very, very weird one. One that is another player that was sort of hiding under the radar for a while here. Player number 2 is Owen Beck. Owen Beck is someone you might not have heard of, but weirdly he has an odd relationship with a former Leeds player. He's the nephew of Liverpool legend and former Leeds United player, and apparently he didn't do so well here, Ian Rush. And he came through the academy at Liverpool. He is 22 years old at the moment, so again, he's not the youngest, but there are still plenty of room for development on top of that. And he spent the last season at Dundee, and he made such a good impression that even Celtic were interested in him, which is a very, very good sign if you're a footballer up in Scotland. Basically, you've got options in terms of, are you going to go to England to get a little bit more football at a higher level, or are you going to go to Celtic or Rangers? Celtic being interested in a move is very, very positive, and that is because his profile is a very, very good one. He's a complete box-to-box winger. He's happy to play in the defensive third as well as the attacking third, and in addition to that, he's fairly good at creating stuff. 2.3 key passes per 90. He created 6 big chances across the last season, and I'll be honest with you, he seems like a fairly decent player. Scored a couple of goals as well. Thank you very much, camera. I will get that fixed in a moment. Bloody hell. Why does this always happen? There we go. Different camera. I'm going to have to slump just to fit. There we go. And is someone that would be able to fit in that Firpo-esque mould, I think, which is a pretty good place for you to go if you want to play for Leeds United, because that sort of suits the system. It adds up. Now, interesting little fun factor on top of this, Liverpool reportedly want a sale now because, again, young player but isn't going to become part of the first team, so you probably want to make some money out of them. The fee on this one is significantly more workable. It's estimated to be around £3 million, and QPR are also interested, but if it comes to it, if we're up against QPR, I feel like I sort of back us to get that deal done. But that isn't the only 2 options that we're looking at. There is a third one, the wild card. The wild card going by the name of Bruno Ogbus. More specifically, I want to get the name right. His name is Ifechukwu Bruno Ogbus, sorry. I tried to get it right, and I still got it wrong. Who is currently at Freiburg and has no first-team appearances there, but that's because of the way that German youth system works, basically. So he's been playing for Freiburg's second side in the 3rd Bundesliga throughout the past season, and that means he's still effectively playing senior football against actual professional football teams. It's like if Leeds United's under-21s were playing in League Two, effectively. He's in the youth setup for Switzerland, and whilst he is technically a left-back, he spent a lot of last season instead playing at centre-back on the right-hand side, which I looked at and I was like, that's a little bit weird. I don't quite know why you've done that. It looks like it's a sort of manager's not had the numbers decision that he's made. He's reasonably renowned for his pace, very, very quick defensive player, but in my opinion, this one seems fairly unlikely as Freiburg have plans for him. It would take a big fee to pry him away. So, at the end of the day, we have one big question remaining, and that's which of these players is right. So, it's obvious that we have a set profile of football that we are looking for with this deal. It's obvious that we're not really looking for a starter, especially if you're looking at players that are not starting for their teams and sort of, although regular in other squads last season on loan, not hugely encouraging in terms of like appearance numbers. So at Dundee, for example, Owen Beck didn't quite set the league on fire. Bashir Humphreys played for half a season at Swansea, but wasn't the most attention paid to player, for example. It's basically we're looking for someone that is able to cover Firpo in case he gets injured while still developing and improving themselves and being a long-term signing for the club. It's not a deal that we would be making for just this season. Ideally, if we were to pay a fee, it would be for this season and hoping that they get better as the seasons go on and they increase in value, they increase in quality, and hopefully become first-team players for us. Likely as well, we probably want an out-and-out proper wing-back that is able to do the attacking stuff like Junior Firpo does. So, in my opinion, Ogbus's right-hand side bias is a little bit of a problem. Looking for someone that can play on that left-hand side. And the fact of the matter is, he's not done it that much because he has been in that rotational substitute role for Freiburg's second team in the third Bundesliga. We've not really seen him at left-back tested to a high level, which would make it a severe risk, in my opinion. Add on to that the fact that Bashir Humphreys is both expensive and a not really attacking player. If we're looking to replace Junior Firpo for those missing games, it would be a big tactical transition to replace him with someone that doesn't really bomb on and do those overlaps. You'd have to teach Humphreys how to play that way, and I feel like that is a little bit of a worry, in my opinion, and could cause some problems in terms of, well, if we get injured, we don't want the entire structure to break down. In my opinion, with all this considered, it looks like Beck from Liverpool is the perfect option because he is someone that can develop, someone that has proven, at least to an extent, that he's a decent enough player that, although didn't really set the world on fire when he was in the Scottish Premier League, he still did decently. Sorry, I'm just, whilst I'm doing this, seeing exactly how he did in the Scottish Premier League against the likes of a Celtic. So again, Celtic known as well. He got a 6 out of 10 in terms of rating, but his average sofa score rating across the season was a 7.3, which is very, very good, to be fair to him. You've got to give him some credit. Also, he got his 6.7 in the other match against Celtic, which is not too bad. Basically, Beck seems like the right option. He's affordable at 3 million quid and a decent enough signing for me to be comfy and think that we've got some backup here. But at the end of the day, as always, that's just what I think about what's going on. I, as always, want to know what you guys think. Let me know in the comments down below who you think we should sign at left back. Do you think left back should even be a priority? It's completely up to you guys. If you enjoyed the video, pop a like on it. Subscribe if you're not yet. You could even become a channel member. It's just 99p a month and it really helps the channel out. Hope you enjoyed. And I will see you later. Ta-ra. I do love a left back. That might just be because the one time I played a Sunday League match, I registered as a goalkeeper, and they decided to play me as a left back because I was left-footed. Maybe I feel pity. I don't know. Ta-ra.